What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have two different rifle lights from Inforce we're going to talk about. The small guy here is our ARC 350. The larger one is the ARC 650. So I've actually had these for several months. I have over 1,000 rounds on each of them. I helped Inforce test them before the lights were released. I used to work for Inforce and they sent me some to help pre-release testing. So I have a ton of rounds on there, which is pretty good. And the first thing you're going to see is these are more of a traditional rifle light than what we're used to with Inforce. Inforce is known for like a WML, WML-X series rifle lights. These are a lot more traditional in design. They're 6061 aluminum. They have an anodized finish, and both of them are available in handheld versions. Pretty much the same light without the built-in mount if you want it as a handheld as well. But anyway, the smaller one up here on the screen is the lumens, the candela, and the runtime. 1200 lumens, 75,000 candela, and a 45-minute runtime. When you go to the bigger one, you're going to get more lumens, more candela, and more runtime. Obviously, it's a bigger light, more powerful battery. The runtime is the big difference here. The beams are both very good, somewhat similar. The runtime is the big gain if you can fit that bigger one. Now they both are dual fuel, so the larger one takes a rechargeable 18650, the smaller one takes a rechargeable 18350. So if you throw two CR123s in here as a pinch, you can do so. Just know with all lights, when you do that, you're going to lose some of that performance, like your runtime is going to be lower, and etc. They're not going to be as powerful, but in a pinch, if your battery dies, it's better than not having it at all. The controls are super easy. Like most lights, a half press is going to be momentary, only stays on for as long as you hold it. If you give it a full press, that's going to be constant, and the light's going to stay on. Now, we got to talk about the tape switch and the head and the mount and all that good stuff. Before we do that, I want to step outside and do a beam comparison. They have a very respectable, very good beam. Before I do that, I just want to mention my shirt. It's part of the Tiberius swag. There's a link down below if you want to check it out. Cool. If not, it's okay. Let's go step outside and compare these beams to a few other rifle lights with respectable beams. Starting off with the larger of the two, the Inforce 650, please excuse the construction, give you an idea of what the hotspot and the beam looks like on the larger of the two lights. This here is the smaller of the two lights. I can definitely see a little difference in the hotspot, but both beams are very solid. All right, we got the cloud rain here. A little higher candela, solid beam, one of the better ones. Last but not least is the Cloud Raid. Why does it look like there's different lines on here? So with my naked eye, you see those rings on the video? With my naked eye, I don't see that. Looking through the screen, I do. That's so strange. What'd you think of the beam? Pretty good. I think it's a very solid beam. My favorite thing they did with these lights is they made everything universal. So the mount, the tail cap, the head, all that stuff is going to be a universal scout type footprint mount. So for example, the button on the back, Inforce brand tape switches are not ready yet. They're still testing them. But it is a universal scout footprint. So if you have a tape switch you like, or if you buy another tape switch, it should work on here, no problem. I tried a couple different tape switches. I did not have any problem. Same thing with the head. If you want to use this head, because it's a great head with a great beam, on your current body, you can do so. If you have a different scout footprint head you want to put on this body, you can do that as well. It should work fine. And again, same thing with the mount. The mount it comes with here is this M-LOK mount, but it is a scout footprint, and there is dozens and dozens of great scout footprint mounts out there available, and Inforce also has other mounts available if you don't like this standard scout mount as well. Last couple features I want to talk about: it is waterproof down to 20 meters, has a lifetime warranty, and I think I already mentioned it, but they do have some handheld versions of both of these available as well. Dimensions and weight are up here on the screen in case you need it. Now as far as price, you're coming in around $250-ish. I think that's pretty typical for Inforce. You know, they're going to be a little more than Streamlight, a little less than Surefire and Cloud, and you can look around and figure out which one makes the most sense for you. But let's talk about the testing. I received both of these lights back in November of 2024. I'm recording this video in August of 2025. So I've had these for 9 or 10 months, and that's how I was able to get over 1,000 rounds on both of them, and definitely even more than that on the larger one. So the small one spent most of its time on this BCA budget-friendly AR-15. It also spent some time on a PSA crank. The larger one got passed around to quite a few guns. It started off on a CMMG Descent, which is a 7.62x39, and that's some good recoil to test optics and lights. Then it went over to a Chris Vector 9mm for a few hundred rounds. It spent some time on a Radian Mod 1, a very high-end AR-15, just the nicest AR-15 I have and I've reviewed. So a couple hundred rounds on that. And now it is currently on a Mountain Man defense rifle, which is a in-the-middle, kind of budget-friendly type AR-15, also 5.56, and it may have been on other rifles as well. This one just happened to get passed around to a bunch of different rifles. Most of the testing I did was shooting during the day. It's easier to shoot during the day than it is at night, but I still used the light. I still manipulated the light, turned it on and off, even though it's during the day. I'm not crazy. The reason I do that is just more testing on the light, more wear and tear, letting the battery drain, all that stuff. So I did a lot of that when I was shooting during the day, and I actually killed both batteries a few times and had to recharge the batteries a few times. That testing during the day was just normal plinking, transitions, hitting steel, whatever drill I was working on to test the rifle. The light came along for the ride. As far as night shooting, I only brought them to night shooting one time, unfortunately, which is super disappointing in the past 9 months. But indoor range, we put some rounds down range. Again, really good beam, and I don't think I have any of that footage, so you'll have to, I don't know, trust me on that one, I guess. So in total, again, 1,000 rounds on the small one, a little more than 1,000 rounds on the bigger one. No problems, no issues, nothing broke. The button's good, the light's been fine through all of those 1,000 rounds. The biggest pro for me is going to be the beam. I think they both have very, very, very respectable, good, solid beams. The second thing I really like is going to be how all of the feature set is universal. So it takes the Scout head, if there's a head you want. It takes the Scout tape switches, the Scout mount. So if there's a certain mount or accessory, whatever that you like, you can easily work that in. I think these are really smart that Inforce added these to their line. I worked for Inforce 4 or 5 years ago, and we started designing these on paper anyway 4 or 5 years ago, and then the company gets sold. And I'm really happy to see these come to market when I started kind of the creative process years ago, and I think it's a very good addition to their current WMLX series of lights. I don't have any cons of the light. I do wish their tape switch was available at the time when the light came out. Not a big deal because, again, the Scout mount ones work, and I'm sure they wanted the tape switches to be available, and a lot of times in manufacturing that just doesn't happen. But it would be nice. They should have their tape switches soon, hopefully. We'll see. Manufacturing can be nothing but delays sometimes. Overall, I think they're solid lights. I think they're very, very good light for the money, assuming the long-term durability is there. 9+ months, over 1,000 rounds. I think that's a heck of a test. They're on the right path. We'll see if the long-term durability is there, but definitely so far so good. All right, let me thank Inforce. Their support is greatly, greatly appreciated, especially because I don't work there anymore and they still wanted my input to help test these. I thought that was pretty awesome. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate your taking the time and watching my video. If you think I deserve it, please subscribe to the channel. You can buy a shirt, you can like, you can comment, but the subscription's what really help and what really matters. Be good, stay blessed.